this is just my warm-up. Just talking into the camera. I'm in Canada. Today's video is about San Cristóbal de las Casas in Mexico. Blah, blah, blah. Also, I'm not alone, which is why it's even more awkward to film this. Okie dokie. Okay, let's start again. So, San Cristóbal de las Casas is the first place in Mexico that was cold. That was the first thing I noticed. So the whole east coast is really warm, and then after the east coast I went in further inland and then north to Tabasco, and after Tabasco I went to San Cristóbal de las Casas, which is in the mountains, so it's really cold, which was super refreshing at the time. I remember thinking it was awesome to finally be somewhere cold again for a change. This video is going to be about all the vegan places that I went to, all the vegan food I ate there, and recommendations for anyone else who's looking for... Car just went past. Recommendations for anyone else who is looking for vegan food in San Cristóbal. Before I talk about vegan food, I want to mention a cool little story. So in Palenque, I met a guy at the gym, a Mexican guy called Rusan, who is from San Cristóbal, and it was super cool because he filmed some stuff for me for YouTube, and then when I got to San Cristóbal I contacted him again and he showed me around the town, and it was really fun just walking around with a local Mexican guy, because I really immersed myself in the culture, I feel. And the best part was that he didn't speak any English and I'd only just started learning Spanish, so I didn't speak barely any Spanish, so we communicated almost exclusively using Google Translate. So I would write something in the box and then show him the Spanish translation, and he would do the same, but write something in Spanish and then I would look at the English translation. By the way, I'm filming all of this while going on a little walk with Q, so hence why there's a change of scenery all the time. So Rusan and I hung out a lot, and I invited him as well to meet up with me and some other friends that I met through couch surfing, and so we had meals together, and it was just so fun hanging out with a Mexican guy. We also went to an amber museum, so we walked around looking at things made of amber, because that region of Mexico, there is a lot of amber around. I also then invited him out to a burlesque show. Which was really fun, with a bunch of couch surf people. I don't think he'd been to one before, and I'd only been to I think one before, so it was a really fun night out. So huge shout out to Rusan for being an awesome friend during my travels. The other thing I wanted to mention about San Cristóbal is that it's really pretty, great for photography, and with really nice views of mountains all around the edge everywhere you walk around. So I really enjoyed San Cristóbal, would highly recommend going there. Okay, vegan food places. My favorite vegan place in San Cristóbal de las Casas was Te Quiero Verde. Te Quiero Verde is a fully vegan restaurant, and they have a whole bunch of food like burgers, wraps, bowls with seitan, quinoa, so really high protein ingredients as well. And Te Quiero Verde was so good that I went there a lot of times. So cue montage like now. second place I want to mention and shout out in San Cristóbal de las Casas is called Veganos La Taqueria. It's basically a taco and burrito place that's fully vegan. So they use soy meat in all their products, and the portion sizes are massive as well. So if you're trying to make muscle gains or whatever, it's a great place to go for food as well. I really loved that place, and the atmosphere is really nice. The owner is super friendly and personable, so I had a really good time there. I also went there a bunch of times with other couch surfers I met and other travel friends, so really cool hangout spot and kind of cheap too. The third place that I want to shout out in this video for vegan food in San Cristóbal is called Beck. And Beck is super cheap, really cheap, really good food as well, and right in the center. So it's very close to everything else. I highly recommend Beck. And again, the waitress who was working there at the time was really friendly as well, so I kept going back there too. So those are my 3 most visited places in San Cristóbal de las Casas, but I have a few other places. So I was there for quite a while, tried a few different restaurants, and I also want to give a shout out to Loving Hut. Loving Hut is a chain, I believe, that is fully vegan, and there's locations all around the world. The food is really cheap, it's very global food, so you get food that's Italian or Indian or all different types of cuisines, and it's usually really well made. And so I went there a few times as well. They had samosas and cauliflower wings and things like that, so cheap and cheerful. Another place that deserves a shout out is Anahata, and Anahata was good for coffee bowls. They had really good bowls and good vegan breakfast in general. It's a bit of a climb to get there, but it's well worth it. And again, really friendly staff as well, and very cute cafe vibes. There's all these cars going past. Place number 6 that deserves a shout out in San Cristóbal is called Cocina Consciente. Means conscious cooking, I think. And they have soups and sandwiches, bowls, coffees, things like that. I loved their place as well. It's a very cute cafe atmosphere. I only went there one time, but I wish I'd gone there more often actually. There was also one night when it was very cold. Remember, San Cristóbal's in the mountains, so really cold, and so actually very cozy, so good for hot chocolates and things like that. And both Q and I were tired and cold and not really in the mood to go too far to find food, so we found a hotel that had a restaurant, and we had hot chocolates and fajitas that we had made vegan, so they didn't have specific vegan food, but fajitas are always easy to make vegan because all you need is a tortilla wrap and some vegetables. So we did that, and it was a cozy little dinner. I don't remember the name of the hotel, so I will put the footage in this video, so if anyone recognizes the hotel, feel free to put that in the comments. But I think that's a good example of just creating your own vegan food wherever possible. If there's no options available, you can just ask them to switch up the ingredients, because they have the technology, right? They have the ingredients, and so you can just take out the cheese and egg, meat and fish, and just combine some other menu items instead to make something that's wholesome and vegan. I think that's everything I have to say about San Cristóbal. Those are all the places I went to and enjoyed. I would highly recommend the city in general if you're traveling in Mexico. It's so easy to be vegan there. I hope that this video helps somebody. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.